Hi, my friend. I hope you're doing well, and I wish you a happy new year 2022. I want to shoot this video to talk about getting into alignment so that you can get back into flow for success. Now, if you're feeling stuck, if you are feeling like you're not really sure what to do in your life, in your health, in your mindset, in your business, if you're feeling like you've maybe tried a bunch of different opportunities in the world and you're feeling like that same familiar feeling, where maybe if you really look at that feeling that you have under the surface, it's starting to feel like it's not going to work out, or you don't think that you're going to actually have success and you're really not confident in what you're doing. Okay, now I've mentored and coached a lot of people in different businesses, and what tends to come up for people is reoccurring stories which get them out of alignment. And if you're not in flow state, if you're not getting leads all the time, if you're not progressing, if you're not sure what to do next, if you don't feel confident in what you're doing, or if you feel somewhere in your mind like you've got imposter syndrome, like you don't know if you have enough value to add to the marketplace or any of that kind of stuff, etc., then it simply means that you're not in alignment. Okay? Now, when we have these feelings that something isn't working out, what happens is we tend to project into the future based off of that feeling that we have. Now, the thing is, when we do this, we just create the failure. Okay? We create the failure. And again, if you've tried at least a few different businesses and you didn't hit a home run financially, then the odds are that when you got into your first opportunity, you were all in, you were super excited because you finally jumped, and then you were kind of nervous, and then you were reaching out to some friends and it didn't really go the way that you were thinking it would go, and that people weren't as interested as you thought that they would be, and then you had a couple objections, and then it kind of like made you feel like, oh, like, what am I doing here? I thought this was going to be easy and it's not, and it's actually way harder than I thought it was going to be, etc. And so when we have those feelings, that can trigger past states of trauma that we might have experienced, like when you were a kid being rejected or bullied or picked on or all that kind of stuff. And so like the number one thing that people want to avoid is rejection. Nobody really wants to be rejected. Okay? People would rather be accepted. So, when you get down the path of being an entrepreneur and you're getting into sales or marketing, you're going to face some no's. You're going to have some rejections, and those are going to trigger you, right? It's going to make you feel like, oh, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough. How can I do what that person's doing because I'm not like that person? And we create these false stories and judgments. We assume that maybe that person is different. We start to categorize and class ourselves as maybe middle class or poor, and that those people who are successful are rich, and that they're different types of people, right? And again, that sort of just plays off of stories from when we were younger. Maybe you heard statements like, all rich people are going to hell, or it's harder for a rich person to go to heaven than it is for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle, or all rich people are crooks or evil. These are stories that a lot of people that don't have money tell each other, because in their world it justifies why they're not in a higher financial situation. But they don't realize that those types of stories actually just perpetuate the situation of not having good, strong finances, right? Because if you don't believe that having money is morally okay, then you're not going to do it because you'll feel morally out of alignment. So, why I'm bringing this up is because these are the stories, the traumas that tend to show up for us deep under the surface when we get involved with an opportunity, because something happens that makes us confront ourselves and these stories that we have inside of ourselves energetically by getting rejected and by getting a whole bunch of no's. And then we start to feel less confident because our confidence wasn't built off of results. Our confidence was built off of hope. The problem with building confidence only off of hope is that if you haven't attained that, then it's easy to chip away at that hope until it dwindles down and wilts like a flower. So how do we keep that flower watered? How do we keep it strong? Getting into alignment. When we're out of alignment, we don't feel like we're confident. When we're not feeling like we're confident, we're not going to do the right actions. We're not going to take we're not going to put in the right amount of effort or energy, right? So The thing is, when people get stuck in these feelings that they're not going to succeed, it's behind the surface here. It's always there when they're talking to people. They don't have that same excitement or enthusiasm or energy or just like super freaking califragilistic excitement that they need to have success. And they're not convincing the people that they're talking to because they're not excited enough, because deep down internally they are uncomfortable. Right? They don't actually fully believe that they're going to have success. And so it energetically starts to permeate from them. And then they have this feeling and they start thinking that feeling, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, I'm not going to succeed. It's not going to work. And they maybe put in a little bit of effort, and then they put in a little bit less effort, and then they put in a little bit less effort, and then until they drop off the map, and then they disappear. How many companies have you joined where you disappeared? If you're watching this, you've probably joined at least a few network marketing businesses and kind of disappeared. You didn't have any success. You just kind of like fizzled out. Correct? Yeah, well, that happens for a lot of people. The reason it happens is because they lose their confidence and they lose their energy because they don't realize that they were feeling out of aligned, and they were having these feelings come up for them that made them feel like it wasn't going to work, and they started to envision the future based off of this feeling that they had, right? So how do we deal with this feeling? Because the thing is, when people have that feeling, it's there. It's a real thing. It's a real issue. But they try to mask it by doing more effort and taking more action, which is not the solution, because by dealing with the issue that you've got, by dealing with that emotion, by just trying to throw more stuff on it, is more like a Band-Aid. It's actually and then you get unbalanced because you don't have a proper flow in your life. And then, all of the other things in your life start to fall off. Like maybe you put too much work into your business and you avoid your relationship, and then your relationship gets unbalanced, which then throws you off more energetically, and then you feel more out of alignment. And then you might try avoiding your relationship by putting more energy into your business, but your business, the energy you're putting into your business isn't actually positive, great energy, because you've got shit going on over here in your relationship, and then it's starting to spill into your into your business. Your personal life and your business life are intertwined like this. They're married, okay? They're not different lives. And so that could be happening in your health, like you're working too hard and you avoid your health. Well, now your vibration goes down because you've got less health. You're not as comfortable in your body. You've got more aches and pains and inflammation. And when your body isn't high vibe, your mind isn't high vibe. When your mind isn't high energy, guess what happens? You start getting more depressed. You start having lower frequency thoughts, and you become less efficient mentally. So it is it's like a sweater that got stuck on a nail, and you kept on walking until there was no sweater left. You ruin yourself by not dealing with getting back into alignment first. So why I wanted to explain that to you is most people don't understand that the reason they're not in flow is they're simply not balanced and in alignment. So I'm going to talk about some very powerful keys right now that you can start to follow. This is like a formula. This is a formula to start following that's going to help you get back into a very powerful alignment, no matter what the situation is, okay? You could be at the bottom of the well in your life right now. You could be at the darkest point. You could be somewhere in between or even at the highest heights, and you want to stay there by following a flow, a formula to stay aligned. This is going to help you tremendously. Okay, so the first thing is, rather than trying to deal with the stuff of working harder and trying to do an extra course and learn from an extra guru, here's what you should do. Drink water. Drink H2O. Good old-fashioned water, aqua, okay? Now, you're probably dehydrated. Now, this isn't a health pitch. I'm not selling you a health product here. I'm telling you, you need water. Your brain needs a lot of water. Your body needs a lot of water. And you ain't drinking enough, period, okay? You should be drinking 3 liters of water a day. Most of you aren't even getting in 1, and you're not hydrating your brain. Now, here's why water is the first thing you should do. Well, actually, the first thing you should do is make your bed in the morning. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. Yeah, make your bed in the morning and then drink water. But you need to get focused on hydration, okay? First thing, hydrate your body, set a goal to drink at least 2.5 try to get to 3. And if you're really on it, you can get to 4 liters of water a day. You're gonna pest like a racehorse for a little bit, but eventually your body will balance it out. You'll kind of get used to it. And then you'll probably fluctuate somewhere between 3 and 4 liters of water a day. But drink water like a camel. Now, the reason you need to drink water is because number 1 is it helps your body flush toxins, okay? When you are dealing with anxiety and stress, which is often a huge reason why people get stuck and out of alignment, is because their body is dealing with acidic and toxic hormones from stress and anxiety, okay? So drinking water helps your body flush those acidic hormones and toxins out so that they're not storing around in your body. And when your body becomes too acidic from stress and anxiety, it makes your brain dehydrated and it can cause headaches, etc. And it causes loss of mental performance. So hydration is number one. Number 1, hydrate your body. Very, very important. And look, I need this reminder too. Don't think that, oh, I drink water. No, actually, if you think you do, then tell me exactly how much water you drink every day. Are you measuring it? Are you actually tracking it? Probably not. So don't lie. Just be honest. You're probably not drinking enough water. So start. I forget sometimes too. I need a reminder every now and then. And I used to be a health coach. So it's like, hey, remember, drink lots of water. If your thing is not working properly, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling low energy, drink water, not more coffee, not more caffeine pills, not more of this or that or the other thing. No more supplements. You just need to start with water. That's very important. Now, another thing is making sure that you're eating healthy, okay? It's easy to slip and fall off track, especially with all these things that are going on in the world. I don't want to say any of those trigger keywords that are, probably get my video kicked off of Facebook, because if you even mention the thing that's happening in the world, then it kind of seems to lower your algorithm ratings here. But let's just see. This is a real thing that's actually really happening in the world, and a lot of people are kind of staying at home, feeling depressed, and eating crap. Well, you got to take care of your nutrition. Now, I was an elite health coach. I was like a men's physique champion. I could literally spray tan, walk on stage, and win a championship, and I did. And I'm not saying that to brag or boast. I spent years learning how to discipline and train my body, and tried so many different diets and all that kind of stuff so that I could master this thing, because I knew that if I was going to be successful in business, it would be important to master my health, because when you got your health locked down, then it's easier to make money. And also, when I was a health coach, I trained a lot of people who sacrificed their health to make money, and then they lost their money trying to get their health back because it became an all-consuming thing for them, right? Of like, they needed to get back on. And then they were always in these bad habits and patterns that they manifested and developed over a long time. So I didn't want to start off my journey in business by having a lot of bad habits. I wanted to make sure that I had this temple dialed in, okay? Now, I'm not an advocate of any one specific diet or lifestyle for food. Like, I'm not talking straight vegan, vegetarian, keto, pescatarian, all that kind of stuff. Look, I'm very neutral on that stuff, okay? Food is food, all right? Here's a couple things that I've learned, and you can take this or leave it, but eat less meat, you'll feel better. Eat more vegetables, you'll feel better and get more energy. Eat less sugar. Try not to eat any sugar. Don't add salt to things. You don't need to, straight up, okay? Himalayan salt only, or sea salt, but don't add table salt, because table salt's a different kind of chemical, and it actually increases your blood pressure, okay? So take it or leave it. It's really that simple, right? And don't eat too much, and don't overeat, and don't eat till you're so full that you fall asleep. And if you're eating so much food that you get tired after, you're eating too much food. So eat less, and only eat when you're hungry. So if you're not hungry when you wake up, don't just have breakfast just because it's being served. Wait until you are hungry. And I'm not an advocate of intermittent fasting either, because I think that that's just kind of ridiculous. Sometimes if you wake up in the morning and you want to eat, go eat, okay? And the number one thing I would say for your health when it comes to nutrition is that what you believe about your food will affect you more than the food will affect you. The power of the mind is unbelievably strong. And if you believe that eating this is going to give you this reaction, and if you're committed to believing that that thing right there is going to put cellulite on your butt, then it will, okay? I work with countless people. I'm telling you, what you believe about the food and how you think it's going to affect you actually dictates how it affects you and what it does to you. So change your thinking. One reason that my body is totally jacked, even at 40 years old and hardly ever working out anymore. I just started working out again, by the way. So stay tuned for my progress on that because I'm also getting back into alignment. But I'll tell you guys something, this is really interesting to think about, okay? I decided about a decade ago, actually a little bit longer, to commit to the belief that every single thing I eat turns to muscle. Every single thing I eat turns to muscle, okay? So when I eat food, I enjoy it. I do not have guilt, which causes cortisol and bad hormones in your body. I don't have shame around foods. I can eat a piece of cheesecake and I'm not sitting there thinking in my head, oh, it's gonna go straight to my stomach. Because when you think that, guess what it does? It does. It does do that. Okay? But if you don't believe that, and I'm not saying eat cheesecake all day long. I'm not getting like, let's not go into crazy la dodo bird land here. Like, be smart. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, you decide what the food does to you. You decide. Okay? So be conscious about the food that you eat. And again, a great reference point if you really want to dive into some excellent strategies on how to be healthy, there's a book by Wallace D. Wattles called The Science of Being Well. And it's a fantastic book. And again, it basically lays out exactly what I said, only it takes an entire book to do it. So, get your body, hydration, nutrition. Third thing is exercise. Okay, look, like you've maybe fallen off the wagon fitness-wise like I have. I used to be a men's physique champion, and then I kind of stopped working out so much, and then I was hardly ever working out, and then like basically last year I kept saying I was gonna work out, and I kind of did a couple times, and I didn't, and then, you know, I just took for granted the fact that I put in so many years training that like my body wasn't gaining fat, but at the same time I was starting to feel very low energy towards the end of last year because I really wasn't working out at all, even though I kept committing to working out. So I bought a gym membership, and I've been to the gym twice so far since I bought it. I just bought it 3 days ago. Today I'm going again. And I'm committed to going to the gym at least 4 days a week and actually training, and it's in the thing, and I do it first thing in the morning. It's great. So commit to working out. And even if it's just 15 or 20 minutes a day, that's all you need. But making the commitment to go to the gym is really, really important. I'm telling you, because, and you might be in a place in your life where that seems expensive, going to a gym. Maybe you're in a tight financial spot right now, and going to the gym is like an extra $50 or $60 a month. And you're like, I don't even know I can afford that. I'll tell you why it's important to go and do that. It is very important because when you are feeding your body that physical energy, right, by training, okay, you're boosting your hormones, which make your mind sharper and more powerful. It allows you to become more present and focused. It makes you feel better. When you change your vibration, you're changing your state. Guess what you're doing? You're leveling up your mental capacity. Okay? If you're feeling slow, groggy, foggy, all that kind of stuff, take your health seriously because it really does matter. And don't Band-Aid solution that stuff by more coffee and more, you know, stimulants and all that kind of stuff. Instead, remedy and cure the situation by drinking water, eating good food, taking the time to go to the gym and working out, okay? No matter what your fitness level is, it's important to take it seriously because when you take care of your body, it'll take care of you, okay? So, that is your body. The other thing to start taking care of is your mind. Oh yeah, sorry, but going back to the body, make sure you stretch. Holy crap, this is huge. I kept forgetting to stretch last year, and I started having problems in my lower back. Like I was walking around, and I was like, oh my gosh. And what happened was, like, this muscle here, like my whatever it is, my hip flexor, it was just from sitting down so much, it was getting really, really tight. And so I started stretching. I was like, oh my gosh, like I used to be really flexible and I was so tight. And so stretching every single day, and now my my hip is starting to loosen up and get back to normal. But yeah, like I'm literally doing what I'm teaching you guys. Okay, what I'm talking about is something I'm actually following myself. So you gotta stretch and you gotta take the time for the body. It's super important, okay? Because if you want to deal with that feeling of being stuck and not sure what to do, trust me, you gotta get your vessel right. You've got to be able to get your body prepared to hold more energy. Okay, now going into the mind. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. How focused have you been even while watching this video? Have you actually been paying attention to the things that I've been talking about? Or are you kind of like looking at some stuff and focused over here and checking some stuff? Oh, Shane's boring, I've heard this before. Or maybe you had some I already know this stuff, or maybe you tuned out, or maybe for a couple seconds, you're listening and all of a sudden, boom, you're over here in your brain thinking about some conversation with somebody, or something you want to do, or something that you're stressed out about in your life, or some financial, or some relationship issue, or some health thing, right? So that's the thing about the mind. There's nothing wrong with that. But what you need to understand is that the mind is not who you are. You are the observer of your thoughts. And if we don't learn how to control our mind will control us. The problem with that is if your mind is controlling you, then your mind is only getting its energy off of the past and the current feelings and state of your body's energy. So if you're feeling low vibration and feeling stuck, your mind is only going to be able to do what it can with the information it has. Okay? And if you're allowing yourself to be caught up in thought patterns and thought loops, and if you're allowing yourself to wrap your mind's attention up and its capacity up in repeating thoughts over and over and over, repeating a conversation over and over and over, repeating a situation over and over, repeating a song over and over and over, being distracted over and over and over. How many times have you been on a date with your a partner or loved one, or been out with friends, or been engaged in some sort of conversation, and if you're really honest with yourself, you tuned out like so many freaking times. You were just so actually not with them. You were in your own head thinking about things, maybe thinking about the things you wanted to say. This happens to everybody. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. This is normal. Just also know that when you talk to people, that 99% of the time they're tuning out half the time too, right? So like this is a big problem though. It's a lack of mental control. It's a lack of mental discipline. And, I've taken it upon myself to really do the work to learn how to control my mind. And I'm still in the process of learning. And I'll share with you some things that I've discovered that have been tremendous help for me. Number one, stop watching the news. Stop it. Don't watch the news anymore. It is not helping your life at all. Has the news made you $1? No. Oh, cool. Has it got you any clients? No. Oh, cool. Has it got you caught up talking about a whole bunch of drama and BS and all that kind of stuff? 100%. Okay? Has it given you stress and anxiety? Oh, yeah. Has it made you worry more? Oh, you were so worried. You're worried. Look at you sitting there worried. I'm just having some fun, but seriously, you're probably worried. If you're watching the news, you're giving yourself stress, and there's no need for that. Why are you? It's like watching the news is basically today, because it's not actually news. It's not objective anymore. It's super subjective. It's just a bunch, it's just kind of crazy. And maybe it's okay to watch sometimes, once in a blue moon, if you want to just see if there's a hurricane coming. But other than that, you already know what you're going to hear. You know what to expect when you watch news. And it's not taking you in the right direction, right? So I want you to consider this. What you focus on, what you entertain, what you read, what you listen to, okay? What you watch is going to go into your brain. And this is going to be the stuff that your brain gets to work with. This is the data your brain is working. Your brain is a very powerful machine. So if you're giving your brain the news, it's how the frick is that going to help you with your business? Your brain is not getting any data from the news that's going to help you with your business, is it? No. If you're watching stuff, like if you're trying to build a MLM, or if you're trying to build like some online marketing or affiliate marketing company or e-com or drop shipping thing, why are you watching shows on painting or cooking? I mean, it's like, that's not going to help you reach your goal. So the thing is to understand that your mind is a machine, and you, the consciousness, the I am behind the mind, okay, you are the I am there. You are the person that's aware. You are the thing that is aware of your thoughts. You can hear your thoughts. You can listen to your thoughts. You can see your thoughts, okay? You have dreams. You're the awareness of that. You are the observer. You are not the thoughts. You are the observer of the thoughts. So learn how to be the observer that's in control of the machine, rather than the machine just like all the time running around doing its own thing, okay? So becoming aware of your thoughts and becoming aware of the things that you're feeding your mind. So be intentional about your input, okay? So I'll give you an example. Someone who is crushing it, making like millions of dollars online with marketing, etc. I guarantee you that the things that they're listening to, the things that they're watching, the things that they're reading are totally in alignment with helping them accomplish more and have more success and build their business more and scale more and increase their skills more. Because if you want to go from where you are to where you want to be, it's going to be in your languaging, and you're not going to talk about things that you're not learning. See, you're going to be talking about things that are fresh and relevant and recent to you. You're not having the same conversations now that you were having 6 years ago. They've changed, okay? So 6 years ago, you were talking about different things. You were learning different things. You were reading different things. You were watching different things, I hope. So fast forward to today, what are you watching that's actually helping you? And are you, if you're honest, is even 80% or even 50% of the stuff that you're listening to, reading, or watching, is any of that stuff actually in alignment with helping you accomplish your goals and dreams? Answer the question. Is it? Honestly, truthfully. And have you noticed a result or a change from this stuff that you're reading? And if you have been watching stuff that is helping you get into the right direction, if you're listening to stuff, reading stuff, all that kind of, if you're doing the work on your personal development and learning the skills, the other question is, how present are you while you're actually learning these things? Like, I'll give you an example. How many times do you watch a video and you know you're taking a course, and then you're just kind of tuning it out? You're there and you spend 30 minutes watching this video and you didn't even actually watch the video. You were kind of half the time in your head having a conversation. You were distracted. Phone came on. You were looking at something. I can't tell you how many times I've done Zooms or webinars with people, and I have to call them out. I'm like, hey, what are you even talking about? Where are you? Were you on your phone? And I was like, yeah, I was. And guess what? How are you supposed to have success if you can't even pay attention? Think about how many countless hours you've potentially wasted in your very precious, sacred life, where you were kind of here, kind of being present, and then mostly really not, because you're in your head. Wouldn't you like to fix this? If you'd like to fix this, type, I want to fix this in the chat, okay? Now I'm going to give you a couple keys. Number one is you have to become aware of your thoughts and your thought process. And before that, you've got to be more intentional about your input. So thank you for watching this video, because if you're watching this video, you're actually investing time in learning how to help yourself. And if you actually pay attention to the things that I'm actually saying, and you're actually present, then potentially you could get a very powerful reward and start to see some results in your personal life and your professional life by simply paying attention. Now, becoming intentional about the things that you're putting into your brain, right? And having the willpower and the discipline to say no and to say yes, but nothing in between. I will watch this, and I'm clear on why I'm watching this, because I want to get this result. I will not watch that because I do not want the results from watching that, like the news, okay? So getting intentional and clear on what you're putting into your brain is very important. You're not going to change your life until you change who you are. Who you are is where you are. If you want to be somewhere else, you have to change who you are to be the person that will be where you want to be. And that means you've got to change your input. So being intentional. The other thing is being focused. Now, I want to talk about meditation for a second. Meditation is a very powerful mental practice. People have all sorts of funky ideas or right ideas about what meditation is, but let me be clear on what meditation is and how powerful it can be. It is a practice of being aware. That is it. It is not about cleansing your mind of all thoughts, because you're always going to have thoughts. I doubt that there's very many people who meditate that don't have thoughts that come up. What makes meditation powerful is that we haven't been trained from when we were young to be aware of our thoughts. We just think that we are the thoughts, so we don't know how to separate ourselves. We don't know how to control which thoughts capture our awareness, and we run off with those thoughts, okay? So it is a mental discipline to understand that you are simply the awareness of the thought. So if you were to sit there and just deeply breathe, and why we breathe deeply through the nose is because it stimulates us to be present. Deep breathing through the nose. When you focus on your breath, it has this very powerful way to just get your mind clear, okay? And it oxygenates your brain, because it oxygenates your blood, and it'll help you become more present in the moment. But still, thoughts will come up. Now, you have to become aware of these thoughts rather than being captivated by the thoughts. So, think about this. When a thought comes up, you close your eyes, even just for 5 seconds right now. Just try. And I'll hold space for you for about 5 seconds, maybe even 10 seconds. We'll count 10 seconds, okay? And I want you to see if a thought will actually come up for you or if you can be completely clear of thoughts. Now, the odds are a thought will come up for you. But if you entertain the thought, then the thought wraps up around your awareness and you become wrapped up in the thought, and aka distracted, not present. If you want to become present, then simply observe. Again, here's your I am presence, your awareness, okay? And here's the thoughts. It's like a wave on a shore. And the waves come, and then the waves go. And the wave comes, and the wave goes. See, our illusion or delusion is that we think we can just capture that wave and jump in it. You can't hold the wave. The wave must come and the wave must go. Your thoughts will come, your thoughts will go. Your thoughts will come, your thoughts will go. So don't entertain the thought, because it's like trying to follow the wave back into the sea and then you get lost out there, right? So rather than allowing that to capture you and take hold of all of your attention and energy and waste your time and energy ineffectively, okay? Then what you want to do is hold 10 seconds right now and just breathe through your nose, in and out deeply. And see, when a thought comes in, just observe it. Maybe there's a voice, maybe there's a little conversation, maybe you're repeating something I said, you're repeating something to yourself, any of that. Just observe it, and then just let it go. And breathe that thought out. Breathe in, oxygen, like the wave coming in, and accept that thoughts will come, and then learn how to let the thoughts go. So this is a practice you should be doing every single day for about 10 minutes minimum. If you really want to become powerful in your mind, practice for 1 hour. Okay? Now, I'm getting back into meditation because it's also a very important part of my getting into alignment ritual. So meditation is very, very powerful. And some of the most successful people I know spend at least 20, 30, 40 minutes a day meditating, right? So, I mean, Shane, you're telling me you got to go to the gym. That takes a lot of time. I don't have that much time. Shane, you're telling me I got to meditate now for like 10 minutes to an hour? Oh my gosh. Like, where am I going to have the time to work? Look, you're not effective. You're not as effective as you could be right now. You're not as efficient as you could be. Like, here's the reality. A lot of people, they are, you don't realize if you're not doing the work on yourself, on your mind, okay, you're as sharp as a spoon. Okay? When you do the work on yourself and your mind, you become as sharp as a knife. Okay? And that's the difference, is when you're doing the work to raise your vibration, to become more present and focused in your mind, you are sharper. You're going to have more energy. You're going to be focused. Like, think about this. Again, going back to the video that you've probably watched, all these videos and courses and things where you were only half-assed there and you didn't remember, you didn't really learn, you didn't even take notes. You wasted a whole 30 minutes of something that you're probably going to have to watch again, and you didn't imprint that knowledge into your cells because you weren't actually present. Now, I'm teaching you mental practices to be focused and present. And when you can be focused and present, you're going to learn that video. You're going to learn that course. You're going to retain that information. But if you don't develop that mental power to control your thoughts and to be aware of your thoughts and to learn how to separate yourself from being consumed by your thoughts so that you can be the controller of your mind and be effective and efficient and focused and present, right? When you get effective, efficient, focused, and present, you're going to retain so much, you're going to be so much more powerful. So consider that in your current state of thinking, you might look at going to the gym for 20, 30 minutes a day, meditating for 20 or 30 minutes a day as something that's time consuming and can take away from your ability to earn But actually, when you're more effective, you're more energetic, you're more present, you're focused, you can 10x or 100x or 1000x your ability to earn. Because more focused. I would rather be able to chop a tree down with a single stroke than chip away at it for days with a spoon, right? I mean, you gotta be real. Let's be honest with each other. There are people who we know in our lives that are a million times more effective than us, right? They're just like so much more successful. Why? Why is it when we see somebody who has maybe tried a whole bunch of different business opportunities and they've tried this opportunity and that opportunity, we have all these friends, right? The ones that call us up every freaking week with a new opportunity and pitch us on some new thing. And then, like, I've got a lot of friends like that, right? It's fine, I love guys. But then sometimes I see some of these guys and then they just hit a home run. And I'm like, holy shit, look at Mickey go. Wow, he's crushing it. Holy smokes. And everything changes about this person. They go from broke to hero overnight. And why? It was never the product, it was never the service, it was never that they had a new guru, it was just that they finally got into alignment. They were excited about what they were doing and they finally got so excited because maybe it was they got a reward or maybe they hit rock bottom in their life and they're like, F this man, I'm not living life like this anymore. And then they just had a deep internal change and then they just cocooned and butterflied out. And they had massive success because they were present, because they were focused, because they were excited, because they had energy. They changed. So they became a different person, right? So this is what I'm telling you is your current level of energy and your current level of mental focus is only going to continue to get you where you are now. You have to change everything by creating this new powerful routine to get into flow and to get into alignment, okay? So next is, we talked about body, right? Hydrate, proper nutrition, exercise, stretch. I would also say get into like, a healthy sleeping pattern, okay? But after that, guess what? The mind, right? Being intentional with your input, being very clear. Oh, hang on a second. I think I got somebody here. Give me a second, guys. Oh.
Sorry.
Hi.
And no filter Alexander stuff.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm just doing a video, but this is over here by that name. Well, that's guests in Mexico. So, all right, guys. So, body, right? Hydrate, proper nutrition, proper rest, proper stretching, exercise. The mind, being intentional about your input, being very clear on and aware of what you're thinking about. So, being aware of your thoughts, disciplining your mind with meditation, and also active listening. Okay, so I don't know what kind of reminder you might need to set in your life, but being very active in listening is the most important thing you can do to serve other people. When you are not present with somebody, it's kind of insulting, you know? Like think about if you've ever been, okay, ladies, how many times have you been on a date and the dude was like not even with you, right? Sometimes it happens, guys, but generally girls are a lot more present than guys, I'm just saying. But let's think about this, right? How does it feel when someone's not really present with you? It doesn't feel awesome. You're like, hey, like I just said this where you weren't even paying attention, right? So become aware. Give yourself reminders, and it simply has to say, pay attention. Be present. So when someone's listening or talking to you, ask questions. Be focused. Be present with them. Really make an effort to practice active listening. Because if you're feeling out of alignment and out of flow, odds are pretty good. The reason you haven't really been able to connect with people is because you've been so up in your low energy and so stuck in your feelings and so stuck in your stories and so distracted in your mind, you're not listening to what they're saying and you're not really paying attention. So you're not getting the information that they need to know that you have. They need to know that you care. They need to know that you're with them. And you're not giving them that, and they're not responsive to you because energetically you're not connecting. Am I starting to help you guys make some of these things make sense? Because this is powerful stuff. Okay? Now, body, mind, soul. No matter your spiritual belief, okay? No matter your religion, I can tell you that the number one way to feel spiritually fulfilled is not by reading anything. It's not even going to be by praying harder. It's going to be by connecting with other human beings in community. This is going to help you become spiritually fulfilled. Community and serving other people. So, like, is there anything that you can join in your local community, like a men's or a women's group, okay? Or like a community gathering place where people can just go and talk and be themselves. I'm in Tulum. I'm in a men's group. And it is amazing. It is like therapy for me. I need it. Okay, it's fantastic. It helps me work through things. And there's a women's group here too. And then ladies go to that and it really helps them. There's online men's and women's groups. And these things are super, super, super powerful because, you know, sometimes people, they feel like it might be awkward to go to a group and start talking and sharing and stuff like that. Until you get in there and do it. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, this, holy smokes, I really needed this. Because you're going to hear things. You're going to absorb information. You're going to hear what other people's experiences in life are. And it's going to really help you connect. It's very, 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 very powerful to join a men's or a women's group or some sort of community gathering, or maybe it's a church group or some group with an organization or whatever it is. But to join a place where you can have community. And on top of that, to be able to give and to serve. So like, is there, and you know, look, I always felt super uncomfortable volunteering. I used to like, I'd be like, oh, God, you know, and then like, I don't know what program it was when I was a kid or what condition I had in my mind around going and do that. But to me, it always seemed as like this kind of like uncomfortable thing. But actually, when you go and start serving other people and in any capacity, you know, there's multiple ways that you can serve other human beings. But when you are serving other human beings, some capacity, whether it's through a charity or an organization or a church group or a life group or something, it has profound impact on your soul. When you're not feeling fulfilled spiritually, we try to overcompensate by doing more work or making more money, but that doesn't actually solve the problem, which can lead us back to feeling misaligned. So finding some place where you can meaningfully contribute, okay, this is very, very powerful stuff. Now, for some of us, maybe contribution only shows up in the form of making a donation to something. We feel good or reward from that. Or for some of us, it's actually going and making sandwiches and feeding the homeless. For some of us, it's whatever. For some of us, it's like, for me, it's putting on concerts. You know what I mean? Like playing music for people. I'm inspiring people, which is one of the highest forms of service, actually. So, you know, there's multiple ways that you can show up and serve, but service to others is the way. It is the path, because when you serve other people, you're actually serving yourself. You know, when you treat your neighbor as you love your neighbor as yourself, for example. Okay, this is getting it a little higher into some, I guess you could say, spiritual philosophy. But we're all one. You know, we're all connected consciously. You know, it's the same consciousness behind your eyes that is mine. You know, we're all one, and you need to see and recognize yourself in other people. And there's a lot of you that's out there that's wounded that needs some help. So help yourself by helping other people, okay? When you do that, you're kind of stepping it up into that like Christ-mindedness, all right? Of like Christ consciousness, of like seeing everyone as yourself, of being one with all, of being one with God, of being one with everything, and really contributing your energy to the betterment of all, okay? So go out and serve something. Now, this might not even have anything to do with your business, right? And it doesn't need to. It's just that deep part of you that needs fulfillment, and that is the answer. Go out, join community, and serve. Okay, now, these are some key components. Okay, we talked about body, we talked about mind, we talked about soul. The last thing I want to leave you with is be very mindful about what you say. That thing here is a weapon. Your mouth, the words you say about yourself, about other people, reveal the contents of your heart, okay? And if you're focused on negative things, if you're focused on problems and things that are traumatizing or issues or stress, you are ultimately creating more negative energy in the world and around you. When you change what you talk about, like I said earlier, the fastest path from where you are now to where you want to be is in the words that you say to yourself and other people. So be mindful that your words are only powerful, edifying, uplifting, positive, You know, see the beauty, see the rose through the thorns, okay? And even see how the thorns are beautiful, but look for the beauty in everything. And what's going to happen is you're going to start to appreciate more. Now, if you're feeling stuck and you're feeling out of alignment, you're not sure what to do, it's because you're looking at things from a perspective of complaining. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you're kind of complaining or bitching about something. You're like, oh, it's not going to work, it's not going to work, oh, it's his fault. And maybe you start blaming and all that kind of stuff. And you're looking for everything outside of yourself when you're feeling stuck. So rather than, again, trying to deal with that, totally change your energy by being grateful. You know, when you're doing your meditation, maybe spend 5 minutes just being grateful and thankful for all the things that you've been blessed with. And ultimately, you need to know this. It's always been you. It's been you. You are the one you've been waiting for. There's no one else going to come save you. Okay? Like, still waiting. No, there hasn't been anybody here with bags of cash for me. You know, I've had some donations. I've had some help along the way. But guess what? I got to go out and I got to do all the work. I got to do all the stuff. I got to do the what? It's been me. It's been up to me. You know, God's given me a lot of blessings, but I still got to do the stuff. Okay? You got to do the stuff. It doesn't just happen like, you know, like you got to go and realize that you have been your hero all along. Okay? It's been you. You are amazing. You're wonderful. You are blessed. You are highly favored. Like, think about how freaking awesome you are. And if you have a hard time absorbing that because somehow you're like, oh, I'm not awesome. Oh, you don't know what I did last night. You know, like, yeah, you're still awesome. You're that freaking awesome. And if you don't understand that, here's the other thing. If you don't believe that you're the most amazing person out there, right? If you don't really believe that, then, like, how are you supposed to be so amazing that you hit all your goals? Right? It's like, oh, what? What are you talking about, Shane? Yeah, you have to believe that you are an awesome person. You are great. You are powerful. You are wonderful. Like, you are freaking epic. Like, everything about you is so freaking awesome, so incredible that you should really understand that it's you. You are a light in the world. You are like a blazing sun, okay? You've got to understand that, and you got to, more than understand, you got to realize that. Like, shine, you know? Like, when you realize that, like, you are love, you are super powerful, then you can do it. But if you don't believe that you are, then you won't be, right? Believe it, and then it comes, right? It doesn't happen. Like, you're not great and powerful and kicking ass in life if you don't believe that you can. You got to do that because that's confidence, okay? And then there's nothing egotistic. There's nothing narcissistic. And there's nothing wrong with believing that you're an amazing human being. I think there's something wrong with believing that you're not. I object to your disbelief in yourself. All right? So, with that being said, getting yourself into alignment, follow this formula, guys. Now, remember, the most important out of all this is really just do the work. You know, be intentional about what you're listening to, what you're watching, what you're reading, what you're tuning into, what you're entertaining. Be aware of your thoughts. Learn how to separate your awareness from those thoughts. Don't get wrapped up in your thoughts. Be present, be present, be present. Have a tight daily routine. Make your bed, drink water, go work out. Stretch. Get focused on learning, and most importantly, even above all this, is take the right action. Okay? So learn the skills, implement the skills. If you're a coach, you need to learn how to be present to people, and you need to learn how to get the right information from people, and you need to know how to help those people, and you need to know how to close those people to buy from you. If you're selling any types of products, you need to know about your products, you need to know about your systems, you need to know about how to market them, how to sell them, how to advertise them, all that kind of stuff. If you're in an affiliate product or a network marketing company, you need to be coachable and teachable, and you need to take massive action. And remember, don't deal with that feeling. That feeling of being stuck has come up for you. Don't deal with the feeling. Change your vibration. Level up your energy, your vibration, your consciousness. And then you can change everything from a quantum level rather than a physical level, which makes things a lot more dense and hard. So I love you guys. I hope this has helped. And I love your comments and feedback below. So if you guys got some value from this, go ahead, shoot that below in the comments. And I'm going to post this up on YouTube as well, so make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. Love you.